What's up, everybody? Yo, this has been on my mind, man. This has been weighing on my mind for a minute. I seen Reggie Wright doing did an interview, and he talked about how he bought Daz's publishing for $75K. What? Daz publishing now. He said he bought it. The songs he bought was from '98 on back. So he bought the best stuff. He bought the stuff from the beginning of Deathrow to pretty much the end of Deathrow after Pac died. So he bought all the way up the stuff that Daz did all the way up to '98. But the best stuff was between 91 and 96. That's when Pac died. So you bought the Chronic, all the stuff he did on the Chronic, all the stuff he did on Doggy Style, stuff he did on Dog Pound, the Dog Pound album, Dog Food, stuff he did on All Eyes on Me. See, Reggie Wright make it sound like he owns all that, like he the only one getting paid from that. He bought it for $75K, crackhead price, like Daz was on crack or something. Just sold it, just was desperate. Sold his $1 million worth of catalog for $75K. Daz couldn't have been that stupid, bro. I just don't believe it, bro. A lot of information is missing from that interview. Well, from what Reggie Wright's saying, Reggie Wright ain't telling us everything, bro. Cause that sounds crazy. Boy, that sounds insane to me, man. You sold you sold a $200 million catalog for $75K. Get the F out of here, bro. Nah, bro. Daz ain't that dumb, bro. A crackhead ain't that stupid. A crackhead would be like, what? Is you crazy? $75K? You out your dang mind? $200 million worth of music for $75K. Man, get the hell out of here. Yeah, man. We missing some info, bro. For one, Reggie Wright make it sound like, he bought it for $75K. He made a side deal. So now he getting all that money from Daz Publishing. From the beginning all the way up to '98. That's all his money. That's how Reggie Wright make it sound. And y'all know Suge Knight wouldn't be cool with that Suge Knight would be picking the lock, coming through the door blasting on Reggie door at Reggie house, bruh. You think Suge Knight finna let that slide? Reggie getting all of Daz Publishing. Hell, Suge Knight think that's his money. That's his publishing. And I thought Deathrow owned Daz Publishing anyway. You know, how Daz owned his own publishing and able to sell it at the time when Snoop didn't even own his own publishing from Deathrow. So, make it make sense, because y'all got a lot of explaining to do. Reggie got a lot of explaining to do with that, because that don't make no sense to me. You know what I mean? But like I said, Suge Knight wasn't gonna let that slide, bro. The way Reggie Wright make it sound like he getting paid off Daz Publishing. That's how he make it sound. Like I said, Suge Knight was not finna let that slide. Suge Knight was not finna let that go down, and you know this. All right, so check out this picture right here, right? Daz uploaded a video in 2016 showing off his royalty checks, showing off what he get paid in royalties from the songs he produced. And this would be the songs that Reggie Wright would own if he bought publishing for $75K like he claimed. So Reggie Wright would be making I think that's $193,000. And Daz said that's every 3 months. He get paid around this much. Around every 3 months, he getting paid like 6 figures. So imagine Reggie Wright getting paid 6 figures every 3 months. Do y'all believe Suge Knight will let Reggie Wright sleep in peace if he was getting this type of money from Daz Publishing? Somebody talk to me. Talk to me. And you know, also I want to say this. I think Daz might have flammed Reggie for that 75K. The reason I say that is because in 2001, well, Reggie said that Daz sold him his publishing in 99, but in 2001, Daz sued Deathrow and stated he only received 75K from the time of working at Deathrow. So another thing that came to mind, man, like, why wouldn't Daz just go to Snoop for the 75K? I'm pretty sure Snoop had it. Snoop was on no limit at the time. I'm pretty sure Snoop would have let Daz borrow 75K without even have to put up his publishing. Why would he just sell it outright to Reggie Wright? That don't make no sense to me, bruh. Anyway, I got an article right here. It says Daz Dillinger lawsuit targets Deathrow. Performer, producer Delmar Arnold, whatever, Daz Dillinger and label OCF have filed a 9-count breach of contract suit against Deathrow Recordings, DRR Music, publisher Suge Music.
Okay.
You know, Reggie Wright was stealing. He had made a publishing company under my name, and he was just stealing all kind of shit, man. And, you know, we found that out, and now Snoop going through every corners of the Deathrow catalog and just seeing like Alan Grunblatt from E1 stealing.
Recordings, DRR Music, publisher Suge Music. Remember that, publisher Suge Music and their founder, rap music mogul Marion Suge Knight. Billboard Bulletin reports. The suit filed last week in the Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, Central District, alleges that DRR Knight and company violated 5 separate recording and publishing agreements with Arnett from 1993 through 1998. See, there go that publishing. That resulted in the deliberate withholding of funds owed to Daz and threats of physical violence toward him. So I'm confused because I thought, so they pretty much owned his publishing. I don't know how the agreement was set up, but I remember Snoop saying he didn't own his publishing. Deathrow owned it. So how was Daz smart enough to get his publishing rights and Snoop didn't have his publishing rights? I don't know if Daz struck a deal with Deathrow to own half of his publishing. I don't know, man. But anyway, it says they violated 5 separate recording and publishing agreements. Arnett, who claims to have scribed more than 100 songs, spearheaded the rap group The Dog Pound and is directly responsible for record sales totaling 15 million units during the past 9 years. He says he'd been paid just $75K for his efforts, according to the complaint. I think that's that check that Reggie gave him for that publishing, for his publishing. Deathrow recently released okay, it goes on to talk about other stuff. But yeah. So I saw another interview according to Reggie Wright. They wasn't getting paid like that for publishing back in the 90s. You know, it's not like the big checks we see now what Daz put on YouTube. According to Reggie Wright, they wasn't getting no publishing. Daz wasn't getting publishing checks like that. You know, and if they was, and if the money was getting paid, it wasn't going to Daz. It was going to Deathrow. So I'm thinking Daz sold. I don't know, man. It's frustrating. it's hard to understand, because how can Daz sell you something he don't own? Okay, let's say maybe he do own half his publishing or a percentage of his publishing, and he sold that to Reggie Wright for $75K. I guess. But at the same time, how did Reggie Wright go behind Suge back and make a deal with Daz? Cause I don't think Suge would approve that. I don't think Suge would approve of Reggie Wright buying Daz's publishing. So it's all confusing to me, man. We know how Suge is. Suge very tight and keep up with the money. So it's the only thing he would let Reggie come up like that. And as we see, Daz getting these big checks. According to Reggie, anything Daz did from 99 on back, that's what Reggie bought. So to me, that sounds like Reggie would have been getting 6 figures every quarter from Daz's publishing. And like I said, we know Suge, we ain't gonna let that slide. We ain't gonna let that happen at all. And you know, I really don't see Reggie Wright snaking Suge like that, because Suge would find out about it. You know, Suge know everything. Suge would definitely find out about that. So I'm thinking Reggie and Suge both conspired in buying out the rest of Daz's publishing and putting it in another publishing name. As Reggie Wright said, Simon Says Publishing, or Big Simon Publishing, or whatever. That sounds like more what Reggie would do, instead of trying to do stuff behind Suge's back, trying to make side deals behind his back. But with all that said, Daz won a judgment for $25 million on that lawsuit against Deathrow.
So explain, when you say, yo, you got all of your catalog back, what do you mean by that? Because a lot of people may not understand what you're talking about.
Got the publishing, I got the rights, I got everything is reverted back to Daz Dillinger. You know, after 30 years and 35 years, everything reverts back.
Right.
But Snoop giving it to us before it reverts back.
Wow.
Because he got the rights to his publishing back. You see what I'm saying? He never got the 25 mil, but he got the rights to own his publishing back. You know what I'm saying? That's why we see the videos on YouTube of him showing the money, him talking about publishing and royalties, him showing us his royalties checks, you know. So that's what that is right there.